Hello and welcome to this session of Expert Interview. Today I'm with Richard Fu, who is someone who's really passionate about uh, helping people find their ideal relationships. Now, Richard is someone who first started with a finance and IT degree, who moved into internal audit, but his real passion and it's something that he has been growing for the past few months is really romantic missions, whose aim is to really help singles shift from running in circles to breaking out and finding and attracting their ideal partner through living and loving their life. Now, this is really inspiring because his grand vision is to help more people have true love so that they can pass on to their kids. And their kids can grow up feeling, having that sense of love when they grow up. So, hi Richard. Anything else you want to add?
Hey Shang, hey guys. I mean, it means a lot to me for you to invite me along here, and I'm so glad, right? And hey, man, you gave me the best introduction you could, man. I loved it, and that's what we're here for, right? We're here to share more love. We're here to give more love, and a lot of that starts with just ourselves, right? Ourselves, because we're going to be the future parents. We're going to be the parents of today. We're going to be the parents of tomorrow. That's what I want to do, man. So thank you so much for inviting me.
Awesome. So guys, Richard is someone whom I know is really out there. He's very active in Facebook, in Periscope, and he has a growing audience. You should totally check out his YouTube videos. It's just full of energy. And so Richard is someone who is I feel that there's really a lot of passion in what he's doing. You can really sense it when you watch it. So without further ado, let's dive into the Q&A session. So
Awesome.
Richard, why do you love your work so much, and why does it matter so much to you?
Oh, yeah, that's a really good question. I mean, like, I guess to answer that question, Sheng, I mean, like, why do I love it so much? I mean, I just love learning, right? I mean, I don't have a psychology degree. I mean, I'm an internal auditor, right? It's friggin' weird that I'm trying to do what I'm doing, but I've always loved trying to understand what's going up in here, right? What's going up in our minds. Most of all, as you probably understand, Sheng, when we're little boys who are growing up, we want to understand what's going on in the girl's head, right? What's going on in the girl's head? And for me, that drove a lot for me because I was so scared, right? I used to be really introverted, and I still am introverted, but I'm talking about the typical introvert where you think, you hold yourself in, you just don't talk to anyone, you say, hey, those things. And for me, to break out of that was huge, right? Because then when I actually broke out of that shell, I can actually then be who I am. Right? And for me, when I went through that whole journey, when I went from, being, sheltered, not knowing what to do, to being here where I am now with the love of my life and just doing what I'm doing, it's what I want to do, right? I want to teach other kids that, especially, kids like who've gone through similar cultures like myself and yourself, right? I mean, Asian kids who just grow up, with Asian families that don't get to experience much love, right? The typical love that we're talking about, the affections, right? The affirmations, those kind of things. We're all brought up in certain ways, and I believe that not every parent knows how to give love, and that's not their fault. It's just the way it is, right? And what I want to do is I want to teach people that it's okay, right? That you shouldn't hate your parents, right? I didn't hate my parents; they just did the best that they can. But I want the other people to learn how to actually have love, and not only that, to have for themselves.
I mean, I have many friends who have been scarred or didn't have a proper childhood because of a lack of love from their parents. I mean, many of my I have a few friends who are from single parents, and they grew up seeing their parents fight all day. Which is kind of sad. So Richard, could you just share with us your personal journey? How did it all start? And what are some of the challenges and obstacles that you faced along the way?
Yeah, I'll try and keep it short, Shang. So when I grew up in a family of four kids. Yeah, and in four kids, I was the middle child, right? I was the third child. I had my older sister, my older brother, then me, and then my little sister. And when you grow up as a middle child, as some of your fans, or maybe yourself might understand, is that you experience the middle child syndrome, right? Which means I always did enough to stay out of trouble, but never kept enough to actually keep the love from my parents. And that's because I couldn't keep that love and attention. I thought I wasn't good enough. And I thought I didn't deserve love. I wasn't good enough for love. And that's why I never got any, or I felt that I didn't get any, right? And because of that, then I had like, you know, holes in me, right? So when I did find someone, I was lucky enough to find someone during university who'd love me, right? So she would pour love, she would give me happiness, she would give me joy. But at the same time, because I have these holes in me, right? I have these holes in me, these beliefs like, you know, I'm not good enough for love, or I don't deserve love, or some people have things like, you know, if someone comes too close to me, they're going to hurt me, right? Those kind of beliefs, they are holes in us. And when we find someone to pour love into us, it ends up flowing through us because we can't actually hold on to it. Right? It's kind of like a cup with holes, yeah? So then when someone pours love, pours happiness into the cup, then the love drains it through them, and then, you know, they end up having just this much love, and they need top up. They need a top up. And that's what I was doing. I kept asking my ex-girlfriend back then, top me up, tell me I'm enough, tell me I'm good enough. But even if she did say it, and she said it a lot of times, Shane, she said it a lot of times, and I didn't believe in my own head, right? I kept finding reasons why I wasn't good enough. Yeah. So that's what happened. And then after 3 years, she broke up with me. I hit, you know, that wall where I, you know, a lot of people heartbreak, and that was my first heartbreak, and I didn't know what to do. And for a year, I turned to computer games, right, to try and null the pain, to not experience anything like that, not to think about how crappy my life was. And then I hit a roadblock, right? I hit a fork in the road, and I had two choices, right? You know, one choice, I can continue living the way I did with the holes in my life and hoping no one else can see the holes, right? Or I could go out and fix those holes, right? Really fix those holes for my life so that I will no longer have to have amazing people and amazing relationships go by me and go through me, so that I can actually keep love. Not only that, I learned how to, I guess, you know, hold on to the love, right? Hold on to love, and for me to actually fill up myself, fill up my own cup with my own love, my own happiness, my own joy. And I'm telling you, that's a long journey. It took me about 5 years and a lot of money, right, to just figure out what it was that made me happy.
So you decided to start Romantic Missions because...
So no, I mean, Romantic Missions was a byproduct of my own journey, you know, because everything we do in our company is that we teach only because we've experienced it, right? And that's the only way I want to teach people, because there's like me saying, Shane, I read this in a book, here, go try this. You know, it doesn't work that way, right? That if you want to do it that way, then you can go university, right? But what I want to do is, and how Romantic Mission started was because I experienced through all of that. I went through a lot of journey through the, you know, through the heartbreak, through the rediscovery, the rebuilding, and then getting broken down again, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing, and then having to rebuild again and again and again. Right? And then I figured out there's actually a system. There's a system that I need to apply. I've worked out for myself, right? And so that I can actually show other people how to plug those leaks in your love life, right? And that's using our 4-step plug system, right? To plug those leaks in your love life so you can actually start filling up your own cup and start being more happy. And then there I'm like, hey, a lot of people need that advice. I'm giving you out free. A lot of people, like, you know, Shane, you might understand, you know, when you talk to people for the first time, they open up and they tell you stuff that they wouldn't even tell their best friends, right? And then you sit there and you wonder, what's going on here? This doesn't make sense, right? And then I thought, how can I not help people, right? I'm doing this. I love chatting about it. I love helping people shift from, you know, being a single and struggling and actually thriving in a relationship that they love so much, right? And for me, that's how, you know, that's how we started Romantic Missions initially, but it's what it is today.
I see. I mean, thanks so much for sharing. We'll go through we'll share with the audience later on how you about the 4-step system that you just mentioned earlier. But thanks for sharing. I think it's very, very important that you know, it's all from our personal experience. Even my own program is from my own personal experience as well, and it's really out of this amazing feeling of wanting to help others not go down the same path. All right, so on to the next question. How do you personally live life to the fullest?
Oh man, such a good question. How do I personally live my life? Man, that's so broad, and I guess for me,
do maybe maybe 3 things.
Yeah. I guess for me, the one thing I remember the most and why I always live my life is for ways to take action, right? And that's because I went through an experience where I wrote down, you know, I will never experience another point again where I do not do something for myself because I held myself back, right? So the first thing I always do is always go out and take action, right? Second thing I always do is always get really clear. Get super clear on what it is that you want, right? What it is that you need to get done today, right? The 3 things you need to get done today. I mean, whether it is, I have to go buy the shopping, whether it is I have to go create my website, whether it's, I got to go hit the gym. It doesn't matter what they are. But as long as you know what the top 3 things you need to do that has to be done today, right? That's how you go out and you go live and actually feel like you're actually progressing along the way rather than just getting pulled in this direction or pulled in that direction, right? And then the second thing I do is I guess I make sure I'm always make time for that, right? It's all right if I say, yeah, I know these 3 things I need to do, but if you don't make time for that, right? For example, if I don't make time for my girlfriend, if I don't make time for my family, if I don't make time for the gym, right, then I'm actually not going to achieve it. So there's no point writing those 3 things down, getting really clear on what it is you need to do, but you don't do it, right? And how I go and live and I guess just wake up feeling like I'm going to go smash that. I'm going to do at least these 3 things. Anything else is a bonus. Right? Anything else I do on top of that is a bonus.
All right. Now, well, thanks. That's really inspiring. I think
You're welcome.
most of our audience here might be facing several challenges in their relationships, and so I mean, you are the relationship expert. So, could you just share with us maybe the top 3 reasons why most people struggle in their romantic relationships?
And we're talking people who are already in relationships. Yes, Sheng?
Well, yes.
Okay, cool. Because then, it's a bit of a difference then. So if you're in a relationship and you find that you're struggling, right? I find through my own clients and my own experience, right? And I'll be honest here, Sheng, like, if all your clients are sitting there thinking, he's a relationship coach and an expert, he must have them. Tells you they have a perfect relationship, they're full of it, right? They're full of it. There's always going to be times where it's not perfect, right? Well, there's always going to be times where we argue. But I know this, right, that the 3 biggest things that cause a relationship to hurt and break down is 1, like communication, right? Everyone knows this. Like, we don't communicate. Yeah, it's because, we don't communicate because sometimes our ego holds us back, right? We don't want to open up. We don't want to tell our partner that we're scared. We don't want to tell them, I lost my job. Right? We don't want to tell them something that's going to make them angry, right? So the very first thing is communication. The second thing that I find that couples, I guess, break down on is exactly leading in from the first one, right? Is the vulnerability. I'm so scared that I don't want to make my wife or my husband feel like I'm not good enough, right? I don't want to show them that I'm scared to go out and create a business, right? I don't want to show them that I if I do this, that I'm freaking scared inside and I'm so scared of failure and I don't know what to do, right? Vulnerability needs to come from you to you to say, it's more powerful to say, honey, I'm really scared, right? And what to do, right? Because then that actually creates a bond, right? Because then if your partner loves you, then they're going to come out and they're going to be like, honey, okay, it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Well, I understand. And that vulnerability helps us connect better and build that bond. So then, your partner can say, how can I help you, right? What do we need to do to get you to go to where you want to be, right? If you want to go change careers, okay, I support you in that, right? You have my full support and we go do that, right? And that's what vulnerability can create. Right? So that's the second thing. And the third thing I believe that people struggle with in relationships is understanding, right? And when I'm talking about understanding here, Sheng, I'm talking about understanding from the perspective of, I feel like I'm not understood and my partner doesn't understand me. And then we get angry and we start arguing, right? But this is the thing here, right? Arguments and issues pop up because there's a miscommunication, a misunderstanding. Yeah, and when we argue, it's that I don't understand my partner and she doesn't understand me, right? It's a misunderstanding. And the reason why we continue fighting is because, I'm saying, why don't you understand me? And she's saying, why don't you understand me? Right? So it's about opening up our minds, opening up our I guess, ourselves so that we can open ourselves so that we can sit there and go, all right, I'm frustrated right now. I'm angry at you. I don't understand you. So I'm going to step out. I'm going to say, honey, what's the matter? What is it that you're crying out for, right? What is it that, you need that I'm not seeing? Right? Let me jump into your shoes. Let me jump into your mind for a second to try and understand, why are you feeling so upset? Why are you so upset that I didn't take the rubbish out? Do you think that that's an interpretation that I don't love you? Is that what it is, right? Because if I don't try and understand you, then I'm going to miss out on a lot. And that's why we break down. That's why it's like, this person's not for me because they don't understand me.
Yeah.
Right. So I hope that those three helped a lot with your, the people listening, and that a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's all about willing to make time and to listen to the other person, and really putting yourself into the other person's shoes. I think that's the most effective way for communication. I personally experienced it myself as well. Okay, what about the singles? Okay, let's look to the single people who may not have that much experience in relationships and are looking to go into a relationship. What do you think are some of the maybe the top reason why most people fail to even get into a relationship in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, there's a variety of reasons here, right? But the three that stick into my head the most, especially when I was single, is the very first thing was we all focus on our work, right? We give our work our effort, we give our work our time, we give our work our emotions, but how much time, how much money, how much investment do we do in getting better in our relationships, right? We spend 40 hours a week at work. We spend money on training ourselves to get better at work. But how much do we actually train ourselves? How much do we invest in ourselves to get a better relationship? Right, Shane? Because let me just tell you this. Let me ask you this, actually, right? I mean, like, doesn't a relationship give you more happiness? Right? Doesn't a relationship give you more love?
Definitely.
Right? Doesn't a relationship give you more sex? Right? And if the people who are listening or watching this, I mean, like, if they're saying yes to all three, right, then they know that's how important it is. But if you're saying no to all three, then I don't know what job you're in, right? Must be a fun job. Right? So that's the very, huh?
Yeah. If you say no, you got to change your job.
Exactly, right? Oh, yeah, you must be some weird job that I've never heard of before. But like, that's what they do, right? Is that they invest so much in their work, right? I'd rather improve my work because that's something I think I know what to do. But how do I improve my relationship skills? How do I actually become more open, more honest, more vulnerable, right, to people, so that I actually can stand in my own? Right? That's the first thing I see that singles, and this is myself as well, is that I just dive into work and just sort that out, and then something happens. Right? That's the first thing that I see happens with singles. The second thing I see with singles is that there's also a belief that I'll leave it up to fate. I'll leave it up to destiny to give it to me. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, if it happens, Shane, it happens, right? I mean, it's just like it's like building a business, right? If you say that you're trying to build a business, it's like, yeah, it will happen. I'll just wait for it to happen. No, then you did not take an action, right? I mean, will it actually happen if you sit there on your couch watching Netflix all every day, right? You tell me if that's going to work out or not. If you tell me if it's going to work out, if you go to Tinder and you chat to people and you don't do anything with it, right? You don't go meet them in person, right? It's a lot of singles just want to leave it up to fate because there's this belief that, if you go out and try and force it to happen, then you're not going to have it, right? Then you look desperate. Then you look, like you're needy or whatever. But, the opposite is true, right? I mean, if you jump out of your skin for a second, you think about the person that you want to be in, right? The partner that you want, right? Have a think about it from their perspective, right? Do they want someone who's going to be sitting around waiting for things to happen, or do they want someone who's going to go out and go get it, right? Do they want someone who's going to go out and put them in a position that gives them that opportunity to have that? Yeah. And that's the second thing, is that, you sit around waiting for stuff to happen. And then the third thing is, that there's just no education. Right? There's no education on how to have a successful relationship. So even if you get into a relationship, you end up fighting, you end up causing arguments, you end up hating each other. You don't know how to fix it, right? Or you don't know how to keep the spark going. You don't understand how to keep that flame burning. Then you end up breaking up, and then you're back in the singles game again, and you don't know what to do. And then you start questioning yourself a lot. When you're going through divorce, when you're going through broken relationships, you think, can I even have love? Is there actually someone out there for me, right? And it's about educating yourself so that you can get ready to actually be in a relationship. And this is what the keys are to actually have a successful relationship, right? So just a lack of education, because the best educators we have are our parents growing up,
Yeah.
our friends, right? Our own experiences. And then for other people, it's Hollywood, what's on TV, right? What's on that box, that just, this is what love is. And you think, oh, okay, must be real. So yeah, they're the three big things I see that impact on singles, right? It's the focusing too much on work. It is the, not being willing to take action and go for it for yourself. And then the third one is not educating yourself so that you know what a successful relationship needs.
I totally resonate with what you're saying. There was a point in time in my life where I actually started going on kind of like a dating spree. It was good because I really educated myself, and it's all about, frankly, it's all about being vulnerable. Because when you the whole idea of a relationship is to really, you have to really step out of your comfort zone. You have to dare to fail. You have to dare to look awkward. And this is something that many people think they can, but subconsciously they really feel very uncomfortable, and they just give themselves all kind of reasons not to. And then the excuses of living up to fate, or I'll find someone else better, or they're just not meant for me, it comes up when they themselves are not actually don't really want to take the first step to be vulnerable. So that's from my experience. Yeah. So I really understand what you're trying to say. So and it's really, really good advice. All right.
Thank you.
So I think I want to just dive down into how you help people specifically. So maybe you could just share with us your system briefly, just step by step. And it's something if people are interested, they can come and find you to learn more.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. Great question. So before we go into the system, what I want to be clear on, Sheng, and this might help a lot with other people that are listening, is to actually identify what is a relationship coach, right? But I'm sure some of your listeners sitting there going, is he like Hitch? Is he like, a matchmaker? Is he like a counselor? Right? And I want to share with you the differences, right? So, there's three main types, right? When people get confused. So the first type is the pickup artist, right? That's the one that, we've talked about this before, Sheng, is that, I show you, hey, go over there, see that girl, go touch her like this, go say hi like this, go do that, right? Yeah. They're all very like, they're very like the physical stuff and, just the first interaction, right? That's not what I do, right? I do the next part. Because after what they do is they work on the first date, helping you get that first date, helping you get that number. Then after that, what do? You can't just use the same techniques again to try and chat them through the next few dates. Right? I work on making them really confident so that, you're yourself. I was saying before was about vulnerabilities, where you can be yourself and it doesn't matter anymore, right? Because you're in your own space. You're in your own solid space where you believe and you understand who you are, and it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to shake you, right? And you go out and you go be yourself. And if this person doesn't want you, then fine, you go here, find another person and another person until you find someone who loves who you are, right? And for that to happen, you have to love yourself first, right? So I'm not the pickup artist. I'm not the matchmaker. I'm not the person that throws all the singles in a room and it's like locks the door. It's like, all right, guys, I'll see you in 2 hours, right? And see what happens, right? And then come back and see how many people are dead, right? Because they're like trying to claw out the door because it wasn't a fun event. That's not what I do either, right? I help people become so confident in themselves so that they radiate with their confidence, right? They're attractively confident is what I call it, right? They're so attractively confident that they just walk in a room, they just own the room, right? And they're just here like, look, I'm open to the idea of meeting someone, but I'm here to have fun, right? And how do I know I'm going to have fun? Because I'm here and I make it fun for my life, right? I'm here to make everyone else's life fun. I'm just here to make my life fun first, right? And love myself first. And then boom, things start happening. Right. And then there's the counselor. The counselor is the guy's like, hey, Sheng, your client walks in like, I feel that I just need to wait for love, and then the counselor like, okay, yeah, tell me about that, right? That's not what I do, right? I'm a coach. I help you move forward from there, right? I am here to listen, to help understand who you are, but not only that, I'm here to ask you the right questions to move you forward. Right, to move you forward so that you can go out and go get the love of your life rather than sit here and complain about how crappy your life is, complain about how this guy or this girl treats you like crap. That's not what I do. I help build that inner confidence, that dating confidence, that attractive confidence so that you go out and you be who you are and you know how to pick up because you're just being yourself, right? So even, Sheng, like how many times, you look like a confident guy, right? So how many times have you gone out to try to pick up and you're just being yourself and you messed up, right? You've messed up, you said something really weird, right? But you still recover and then you still get the girl's number, right? Or you get that date, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I didn't manage to get the number when I screwed. But the thing is, I had fun doing it. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I felt really good that I dared to do it in the first place. And it wasn't so much about the result, but rather the process of that. You're willing to even go through the process in the first place, and to find that it's all okay. Like it's okay to screw up. It's okay to get a number. It's not the end of the world. It's just it's minuscule. It's nothing. Yeah. So like life goes on.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. And that's why, what I do is I teach people actually how to become better, right? And I do that in a 4-step plug system, which is the first step is like the push, right? The plug, sorry, I can't even spell plug, PLUG, right? Yeah. The P is the push, right? We got to push out your bag here so there's room, see? So that there's room for actually space. It might look like I actually got space here, but let me turn the camera around for you, right? I got a lot of crap here, right? I mean, like, you see the crap around here?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this because we're moving house.
Yeah.
But like, if you have too much baggage in your life, then you have no room. You have no room for the amazing person to come into your life, right? So the first step we do is we push out the baggage. Second step, the L, is all about living, right? We live your life your way, because how many times do us focus on the things that we don't have, that are missing? What if we took ourselves up that way, 40,000 feet view of your life, and actually assess what is it that's important in your life? How's your family life looking? How's your health? How's your work? Right? Everything else. So then you look at it and go, actually, my life doesn't suck.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And then the third step is about uncovering what you really need in a relationship. Right? I can ask you, Sheng, I mean, like, what do you want in a relationship? Right? What do you want in a partner? You can both, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And I go, what do you like? Good question. I don't know what I need, right? And we work out that for our clients, right, and people who come to our workshop. And the fourth step is the give, right? Because you've learned all these things. You have so much love, happiness for yourself because you're building the life that you want. You know what you need. You've cleared out your baggage. Now you have so much space, right? Now you have so much love in your life. How can you not learn how to give it out in an effective way that means something to people? And that's how we help people, right? Through plugging the leaks in their love life.
So I mean, so you guide them through a series of assignment that practical things they have to do. Or?
Yeah, good question. So the program, the one-on-one coaching program, right, is by application only, right? So not many people, this program isn't for everyone. It's only for specific people, and you have to actually apply for it. Right, because I can't help everyone, because there's people with different situations.
Right.
But it's a 3-month program, and it's weekly calls, and we go through like 12 weeks worth of the program, which is going through each of those steps, and we get really, really clear on each of those steps based off where you're at, right? Some people might be able to start at the L, right? While other people need to start the start. Others might be at the need, right? The U, the third step, right? And we work through with weekly assignments as well, based on you, right? We personalize it because, we have a basic structure, but the assignments are assigned for the people based on their situation so that they can get the most benefit out of it. Because otherwise, what's the point of me and you having a weekly call, right? We're just chatting through things like, all right, cool, that's a good chat, Sheng, So yeah, I'll chat to you next week. We're all about action. So that's why we have actions, right? To help people move forward. And not only that, they get included into a VIP group, so that they can actually then go out and reach out to other people, right? Ask questions.
Yeah.
And then those people are also experiencing those things too. They can add value to that, right? So that you feel like you're not alone. It feels like you're not the only one who's suffering here.
Right. I think the last question that I have for you today would be, what is the biggest lesson that you have in your entire journey of building romantic missions and helping people find their true love?
Oh, that sounded like 2 questions there, Sheng.
Biggest lesson learned.
Yeah. Well, biggest lesson learned in the business and in my dating life, right, is that you have to keep going, right? And I knew this because when I first started Romantic Missions, it was not a coaching business, right? It was actually for me to share romantic ideas, right? But I realized after 2 years, Sheng, right, 2 years, I was pounding my head against this wall, thinking of dating ideas, thinking of writing out dating ideas and writing blogs about it. And it just felt like I was just grinding my head against the wall, right? And it really hurt. Right? It really hurt. And I was just dying inside. And it's exactly the same with dating, right? Is that sometimes you keep banging it feels like you're banging your head against a wall and nothing's happening. But sometimes you have to stop banging your head. You have to step back and go, is this what I want to do? Right? And then maybe to go the other way.
Yeah.
I did with my business, and that's what I did with dating as well. Is that, I thought I wanted this type of girl, I thought I wanted this, right? But it kept going in the same loop and same loop, same loop, same loop. And you need to break out of that loop. Sometimes sit back and go, okay, what is it that I actually really need? So getting that clarity there, right? Getting really clear on what it is you want, and then just going out and being willing to make that shift. And that's the biggest lesson I've learned, man. And that's why I'm here now.
Yeah, that is gold. That is good advice.
Thank you.
So guys, for those of you listening, you can find more about Richard down below the link. His website is www.romanticmissions.com, where you can find a whole host of resources, including his blog, which he updates really regularly as well. You can find him on Facebook, facebook.com/romanticmissions. You can find him on Twitter, twitter.com/romanticmissions, and you can find him on YouTube as well. And all the links will be included below. Now, Richard today has a gift for you. Thanks, Richard. It's actually a free kit, a relationship kit. So can you just tell us a bit about this kit?
Oh yeah, with pleasure, Sheng. I mean, I want to say, thank you first to you for inviting me along, and I want to say thank you to all your fans, right, for listening on. And for this, I want to give you a gift, right, because Sheng brought me on here. I don't want to give you, just this clip. I want to give you stuff to walk away and actually work on, and that's why me and my team, we put together this thing called the Relationship Readiness Kit. See, this kit is to help people who are really wanting to break out that circle that I'm talking about, right, and actually find the love of their life, who are tired of just floating around in dating, right? This kit here is going to give you, the really two big things you need to be able to have a successful relationship. You're going to need the strategy, right? And you need the clarity, right? And how we do this is actually, we give you 3 things in this kit, right? That's why it's called a kit. It's not just our program or anything like that. The first thing you're going to get is the fast relationship formula. And this is exactly the 4-step process, the plug system that I just shared with you and Sheng here. But we actually go into a little bit more detail on what you actually need to do in each of those steps so that you can go find the relationship that you want really fast. And I want you in a relationship tomorrow, so then the next day you break up, right? That's not the relationship I want you in. I want you in the right relationship first so that you can stay in that relationship for good, right? Then the second thing we give you is what I call the secret soulmate attraction technique, right? Which is a guided meditation that I've used personally, right? In the same month when I started using this, I attracted the love of my life. Right? No joke, Sheng. No joke, right? This stuff's real, right? Just every day for that month, and I found her, and she came into my life. And this purpose here is to get you really clear, right? You have to picture what it feels like to be with the love of your life. You get fully ingrained into it so that this is the feeling that I want to experience when I meet the person that I want to meet with, right? The person that I want to live with. And the third step is, once you've been dating with someone, sometimes we get questions in our heads, right? We think, is this person for me? Is this the right person that I want to be with? Right? And that's why we created the soulmate quiz. So that you take this quiz, it can tell you whether this person is your soulmate or not, right? So then you can either continue going down the beautiful path that you're going down, or you stop, right? You have a choice to stop, to say, look, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm not going to waste any more energy. Most of all, I'm not going to waste any more money or risk wasting money in a divorce, right? The last thing I want you to be in is in the wrong relationship and ending up as a statistic in the growing divorce rate. I don't want you to be like that. So that's why we put together this amazing relationship readiness kit. And as Sheng was saying, you can get it from romanticmissions.com/kit.
Yeah. Don't worry, guys. All the links will be included down below. So just feel free to click on the link below. Yeah. So I think, thank you, Richard, so much for today. It's been an honor to have you here and share with us your wisdom in relationship and dating. Do you have any final words?
Guys, I mean, I've shared a lot here and there's been a lot of information. So I recommend even watching this again, right? Because there's so much good nuggets here. And it means a lot to me for you to actually take time out to listen to me, right? Because I'm here to just serve you, right? I want to be an example for you. I want to be the light in the darkness. If you're in the darkness right now, you're single and you feel like there's no one else out there, I want to share with you that I was in that darkness for 5 years. yeah, 5 years, and it was not very good. But I want to be the example for you. And some of you probably been longer single, right? But it doesn't matter. Here is an example that we actually find out, have what we want. Right? I wanted you to leave with this. Right? I want you to always remember to always live with love, right? Live your life with love, because it's going to be huge if you can do that. You can only have more love when you actually have it for yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. Thank you so much, Richard. And cheers and goodbye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.